Be a part of a new cutting-edge program, the Masters in Public History.
We are educators, we are storytellers, we are preservers of history. Our students have worked in museums, they work at historic sites, they work in historic preservation, they work in archives, they work in libraries.
It's so awesome.
Gives you real-world experience.
I can't tell you how proud I am to be an NKU Norse graduate.
Northern Kentucky University is now a Division I school in the Atlantic Southern Conference, a growing campus with a new student center and a state-of-the-art informatics building. That's where you can take a class in documentary filmmaking and digital media. You'll find a campus community that's friendly and supportive.
I think we have a reputation for welcoming people into our programming. We are nurturing. We are mentoring.
If you walk the halls of the history department, you'll see that the faculty members have PhDs from very good universities all around the world. And the thing is, we all like to teach. We like to be in the classroom. But what's happening more recently is that the faculty here are producing excellent research. They're working with graduate students because the graduate students, including public history, they are exploding. And this is something that was basically non-existent when I was an undergraduate student here.
I have been very impressed with the faculty here in being extremely supportive of the students.
We're very family friendly. We also target most of our classes to be in the evenings or at night, so that people can still work their jobs, take care of their families, and then come in.
More than half our students work full-time jobs. Instead of getting buried in tons of reading, they appreciate doing research for real-world projects, working with community partners.
We really like to get our students involved, working with museums and projects that do with history, and real projects, not just classroom exercises.
There is not a single program in this campus who can compete with public history for its connection with the community.
From creating an exhibit on protest music for the National Underground Railroad Freedom Center to partnering with historic New Richmond, Ohio on their bicentennial.
The Public History Department brings us people with skills in archives, skills in grant writing, skills in even doing videos for us, things that as a small organization we could only dream of having done.
Oh, these guys are just wonderful. They're very flexible, they're very good natured, they're very willing to put themselves out for us.
And I would highly recommend any local organization to get involved with the Northern Kentucky University Public History Department and explore what they can do for them.
An exhibit students created on the Beverly Hills Supper Club fire has been featured on the Travel Channel's Mysteries at the Museum.
You're working with students who want to be professional, and I think it was the greatest experience our museum could have ever participated in. You almost feel like you're part of something much, much bigger than anything we ever dreamed of being. We've had thousands of people through in the last 2 years. It couldn't have been a better experience for us.
It builds a camaraderie, it builds a networking system, and it's a real-world experience that you can't get anywhere else.
Not only was I helped by the students, but I was inspired by them. They have a program here that exceeds way beyond my expectations.
If they're interested in museum studies, if they want to touch, feel, and tell stories throughout the history, then it's a great program for that. It will really help to prepare you for any sort of museum work.
Students also gain work experience with their capstone. Instead of a master's thesis, you'll work with a community partner on a project.
And it usually takes 2 semesters. And my requirement for that project is that you have to have something that is absolutely marketable, something that a museum or historic site or an archive would normally have to pay for. And so that you have something when you're done with that project that you can take to a potential employer and say, this is the work I'm capable of. And that's vitally important.
I worked with the Kentucky Historical Society,
Friends of the Whitewater Shaker Village, the Heritage Village Museum at Sharon Woods, and I organized and helped with taking care of their costume and costume accessories collection.
I developed pre-visit materials that go along with their permanent exhibit, A Kentucky Journey.
And that's the advantage of our program, is that we are a real-world, hands-on, information-based program.
All of my professors really helped me in terms of networking.
Graduate Aaliyah Brown went right to work as curator of the National Afro-American Museum in Wilberforce, Ohio.
What really prepared me for that position is the math program. I got a chance to develop so many skills, and I gained a lot of practical experience that it made this job much easier.
Aaliyah says math professors even staged a mock interview to help her prepare.
Some of the questions that I was asked in the interview that I would have never thought to prepare for, they had asked me in this mock interview. So that was outstanding to me.
Your degree stays with you, and we stay with you too. I tell my students when they graduate that we're always here, our doors are always open.
It's a part of how do you grow as a professional and how are you a member of a community. And it gave me an opportunity to do this, which actually serves my country and my region, along with my passion, which is history.
Graduate Michael Kraft works with museums and historic sites all across the region as part of a joint effort between the AmeriCorps program and the Ohio Historical Society.
We're commemorating the 150th anniversary of the Civil War. So much of that story is interconnected. So I get the opportunity to talk about Cincinnati's role, Ripley's role, Augusta, Kentucky, up and down the Ohio River.
Like many of our students, Michael worked for more than a decade in another field before coming back to the classroom to study public history.
Now, as an older person, I get an opportunity to have my second and final career actually serving people and sharing my joy, which is history.